Hits or the 102.7 Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channel. You can listen to this segment on your smart devices like your Amazon Alexa and your Google Home, and you can obviously listen to it right here on your radio too. So let's welcome them to the studio. First of all, Josh, we know you, and you'll get a chance to introduce your friend, your coworker, and technically your boss, right?
Right.
Matt here in just a moment. But Josh, welcome to the studio, and thanks for coming in this morning and being with us this morning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Josh, from Metro Mortgage, so let's start there with you. How long have you been there?
I started with Metro Mortgage, was it 6 years ago? Just about 6 years ago. When we moved down to Florida, I took a little hiatus, but then came back and have since been back with Metro since last March.
All right.
So just about 6 years.
And you work a lot with real estate agents and other professionals here in the area. Introduce the gentleman that you brought with us this morning, if you don't mind.
Yeah, this is Matt, my boss. He is the regional vice president of Metro Mortgage. We've been working together since I started, so we've both been doing about the same time. So why don't you take it, Matt?
Sure. Appreciate you having us in this morning, and excited to be here and to share a little bit about what Metro Mortgage is all about. We founded Metro Mortgage 25 years ago in Owasso, Michigan, and my dad actually founded the business. My brother works in the business with us, so it's a family business. Josh is now a part of the family officially after being here for 6 years. But we opened up our office in Ludington just about 6.5 years ago. So we've been in the community for a long period of time, but just excited to make more people aware of our services.
And with mortgages, there's probably some myths that we can talk about. I know we've got some segments that we'll have throughout the various points throughout the year, and we'll dive into a lot of these, what people should be asking question-wise when they're sitting down. How do you deal with your real estate agent, your mortgage, the financial institution, everything like that you if it's buying that new home, or maybe there's a business owner out there that you're dealing with, we can talk about that. But in general, Matt, what is the climate like right now out in the month of January for Metro Mortgage?
Yeah, I mean, this is generally a slower time of year for home purchases and mortgages in West Michigan. Obviously, the weather today is one of those reasons. But, right now is also a good time to be out looking at houses because there are less people out looking right now, so there's a little bit less competition. It can be a great time to go out and potentially buy the house for a little bit lower price, versus the spring and summer selling season.
All right, let's dive into a little bit of that. You're from the Spring Lake area. You have offices, I believe, in Lansing. Is that right?
We had the original office in Owasso. We opened Ludington 7 years ago. Opened up our Manistee office this June, and actually last Friday opened up our office in Hart. So we're really focused on Oceana Mason and Manistee County out of this office location.
And so you probably have heard this next statement quite a bit, and that is there is no homes to purchase here in the greater Ludington area. Is that what you're seeing in other areas, that it's kind of slim picking a little bit, or is it different in certain areas?
Yeah, if you look across the markets that we service, and we're also a division of Mortgage One. So Mortgage One has 35 or so offices across the state, and I would say the inventory shortage in the Ludington, Manistee, Hart area is similar to what we're seeing across all of the markets. Candidly, in Grand Rapids and Metro Detroit, the inventory problems could even be a little bit higher. But we've tried to develop a handful of strategies that can help buyers, win and secure properties, notwithstanding that limited inventory environment.
All right, if you're just joining us this morning, we're talking with Matt Meyer and Josh Long from Metro Mortgage, just a couple doors down from us here on Ludington Avenue. And Josh, we'll pivot to you for a moment. When people are coming in and asking those questions about that particular home that's on the market, your team really has to react pretty quickly because before you know it, the next day it could be gone. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've realized that over the past couple of years that our pre-qualification process has to be very expedited. We have to make it quick. We have to be efficient, but we also have to be accurate. So we're still going to do everything. We're still going to review the income, the assets, credit, and everything like that. But we're just going to do it as quickly as possible so they don't miss out on a good house that came on the market, because they do get picked up really quick. So we do everything we can to make sure that we're not the reason, that they missed out on it.
Because Matt, I would assume, but you don't want people mad at Josh, right? And you're
that's correct. In fact, I'll just add to that quickly. I mean, since we've opened up the Ludington office, knock on wood, I've been saying this for 7 years now, but we have delivered on all of our pre-approval commitments. So if we issue a pre-approval, Josh and Katie and the rest of our team, they do a great job of doing a deep dive, just making sure that we dot the I's and cross the T's and kind of honor all of our commitments. And so over the course of time, the realtors in the area and the marketplace, knows us for that. And when our pre-approval is going along with an offer, that carries some weight and credibility in the marketplace for sure.
All right. Let's talk about specific loans when people come through the door. They're inquiring about this particular home or that investment. Is there options for them out there? Matt, we'll start with you.
Sure. I mean, we offer a broad range of loan programs from, conventional loans. We offer all of the government loan programs, VA, FHA, rural development. One loan program that we've been doing a ton of over the last 12 months is the Mishta Down Payment Assistance Program. But I would say, I think we're really the only, quote unquote, pure mortgage company in the Ludington area, and provide that broad range of products so that we can ultimately focus on what is the best product and program for the customer versus what is the product that we offer. We try to have the full spectrum so that we can focus on what's economically going to be in the best interest for each borrower depending on their situation.
What about those individuals that come in, Josh, and say, I don't have a lot of a down payment, can I still make this happen? What do you say to them?
Yeah, well, we have several options for low down payment, no down payment assistance programs that if they come in and they say we don't have very many funds, maybe they could get gifts from gifted funds from a relative. Otherwise, like I said, we've got the no down payment loans, and we have the down payment assistance. Like Matt said, we've been doing quite a bit of that over the past 12 months. So there's definitely options if that is what's holding people back.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So what is the required down payment for borrowers, would you say?
Well, I mean that varies so much because there isn't a specific required down payment. I mean, you could have zero, a zero down payment, and you could go up to as high as you wanted. So it really depends on the loan program, and it depends on, there's other factors that play into part, like what the down payment is, but as little as zero up to as high as really they want.
Okay.
Just to add to that briefly, in addition to having several low down payment or no down payment programs, theoretically, somebody can purchase a house with zero cash to close, because if you combine a zero down payment program with what's called seller assistance, then theoretically you can buy a house if the deal is structured correctly without any down payment funds. So if somebody's renting and they're paying more in rent than they would for a house payment, they can potentially transition from renting into a house with little or no cash to close, and then start to build that equity in a house versus having all of that equity accrue to a landlord.
Do you still interact with people that say the houses are just too expensive out there, and how do you respond to that? What's in this climate, in this environment now?
Yeah, I think that house prices certainly have appreciated a great deal over the last handful of years. There's no way around that. However, I would say that people ask us all the time, what do you project house prices to do? And while it's impossible for anybody to predict that with any great level of certainty, if you just look at the factors that are driving that home appreciation, it's tough to see any of that changing. So, lack of inventory is one key, support for home prices. There's just been a tremendous lack of new construction since the Great Recession, and as long as that supply-demand imbalance persists, most market prognosticators believe that while home price appreciation may slow, it's unlikely to decline in any meaningful way.
And I'll hold a question for you. I want to ask you a question, maybe your advice as we get closer to wrapping up this morning, for those individuals that may be discouraged a little bit. And sometimes, it might be putting a little bit more away over time and preparing for the future. And maybe that's not the perfect time to purchase your home right now. And I would assume, Josh, that you do have people that come in that you say it's not going to work out right now for them.
Yeah, I mean, and I was going to, add to Matt's point on that. So yes, the value of homes have increased, but I mean, the big question is, what are people comfortable with paying on a monthly basis? Because what we do when I go through and do a pre-qualification, I do what the mortgage guidelines say you can qualify for. Mm-hmm. But if that's above your comfort limit, then we don't want to put you in that situation where, your monthly payment, your house broke and, you're stretched too thin just to try and get into this house. So that is one thing that I always ask everybody that I work with is what's your monthly payment budget? Like, where are you budgeted out on that? Because then that's how I'm going to back the pre-qualification into.
People are going to listen to this segment and say, I've been thinking about purchasing maybe their first home, their first home, if they're a young adult, or maybe they've been renting for a long time. There isn't sort of that. Probably there is a book out there that says, "Hey, here's your first step, second step, third step." But from your mouth today, Josh, what's the first few steps that you always recommend and advice that you would give this morning?
Well, if the thought crosses your mind about purchasing a home, first step is come and talk to us. We go through everything. We have in-depth conversations that are customized to your situation, and we'll go through everything. So if the question is how can I buy a house now, we're going to take you down a different path than if it's how can I buy a house in 6 months or in 12 months. What can I do to prepare? We'll go through and really figure out where you want to be. What kind of houses you're looking at. To plan ahead for the future. So that there are several different conversations that can be had based off of that thought. But the first step is call us.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I was just going to add to that real quickly. If it's not uncommon for somebody to give us a call and say, "Hey, I tried to get pre-approved with another lender, and they told me that we weren't able to get pre-approved," or maybe I've talked to several lenders and they told us that we couldn't get pre-approved. I would say don't be intimidated by that. As Josh mentioned, just stop into the office or give us a call, and whether or not we can be helpful today or come up with a game plan to help you over the next couple of years, we're more than happy to take the time. But quite honestly, 8 or 9 times out of 10, when somebody comes in and says, "Hey, we were not able to get pre-approved by another lender," we can usually figure out a way to make it happen in a relatively short period of time. We're very creative, solutions-oriented, entrepreneurial, and ultimately we enjoy helping people. So whether it's today or 2 or 3 years down the road, we'd love to start that conversation sooner than later and just be a resource to you as you're contemplating what's best for your family.
All right.
And can I add to that?
Yeah, you certainly can.
Yeah. So when we started, several years ago, we kind of, and Matt can back me on this, we kind of built our reputation on being the problem solvers in the area. So we do often get people that, they may be under contract or they may be trying to get pre-qualified, and another lender says no, we can't do it for whatever reason. We've kind of built a reputation of being the problem solvers in the area. And I'm, it's partly due to passion, and we're all, passionate about mortgages, oddly enough. But that situation does come up frequently where we're, put in the position of, being the ones to save deals.
Mm-hmm. And that's a benefit. I mean, when you see as many, and when you focus on one particular category, like mortgages, and helping those individuals out, hopefully you're able to, not necessarily the loopholes that are out there, but right. The hurdles would be more of the word that I was looking for this morning. Josh, we'll leave the last comments to you. If somebody wants to reach out to you, how are they getting a hold of you?
Yeah, they can stop into early. Any of our offices. They can give us a call. Most people prefer, phone conversations. A lot of the mortgage process is technology driven lately. so we can have conversations. You can, come and sit down with us so we can meet face to face, and then we can figure out the next steps from there.
All right, sounds good. We appreciate both of you coming in, and we'll hopefully see you back here soon. Safe travels to you as well, Matt, the regional VP for Metro Mortgage. Matt, we appreciate you coming up to Ludington. And you care to give a road report? Is it snow covered? Is it slippery? Is it bad out?
Take it slow out there,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
It's not nice.
No, not at all. Well, thank you for both of you for joining us today. We're going to dive more into specifics. I think you're going to see over the next year or so scenarios, examples of what we're dealing with in regards to mortgages and how we can see these individuals be heroes for us, because, we know that the housing market is a little bit rough from time to time. We'll see how the housing market changes over the course of the year, and we'll see what options you have and some things that maybe you want to think about now that will help you out in the future with Metro Mortgage. So, Josh, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, well. And it is 8:40 on 102.7 Mom FM.